Um,
So,
Let's get comfortable together. Because this is serious right now.
okay, first of all,
I guess I didn't really know exactly what to expect. A lot of desert. So I'm doing another film. Remember Tertiary Care? I do remember Tertiary Care. So I've been filming, and I'm working on another film kind of like that one with a similar style.
Okay.
This one is a little different though, and it's basically about me coming out to tell all of you guys that I'm gay.
Are you really? I don't believe you.
And I know it's probably like an uncomfortable position to have cameras and stuff on you.
Are you really? I would have never guessed. Wow. I'm just in shock. Not
Yeah.
upset,
Yeah.
I would have never guessed.
What are you thinking? What's going through your head right now?
The only thing that's going through my head is I just didn't see it coming,
Mhm.
you know? I almost thought you were kidding at first. I don't think you are kidding. Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Well, appreciate you could tell me first.
Yeah.
Doesn't change anything.
Now the newest Spice Girl!
my mom thought it was funny that I was putting on these performances, but I think I was trying to express something that I wasn't aware of yet.
His pants broke open.
We took pictures of Chucky and Mommy and the boys. Oh, and then we went downtown. We took Chucky with us to the market. And we saw a bunch of freaky people. And
And there was this guy who goes, don't put him on the floor. I mean, I don't care what you do at home, but don't put him on the floor.
at the market.
Yeah, and oh, but your dog is so gorgeous.
That's exactly what he said.
He said like, isn't he gorgeous?
He was gay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He was a very happy man.
The ear pierced on his right.
Hey, how do you know about that?
Just not careful.
One day after school, I asked the boy if I could see him with his pants down. He promised he wouldn't tell anybody, but the next day on the bus, everybody peered over their seats laughing at me. I was completely humiliated. I kept getting butterflies around boys at school, and I was hoping it was normal. But I was really worried that it wasn't. This is me talking. Blah, 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 blah.
Action.
And that's how string cheese is made.
You're such a fake.
I'm sorry.
You're a queer bag.
Yeah?
No wonder you have a
I
small...
like boys. I mean, I like girls.
Do you now? Oh, man.
I felt alone all the time, even when I was with my friends.
You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Such a fag. You can feel.
Are you ready?
Wait, should my voice
Get ready.
be hella gay? Hella
Yeah,
gay.
be hella nerdy. I talked about girls the way that my friends talked about them. I made jokes about the gay kids in the cafeteria. I hung pictures of girls on my wall. Anything I could do so that no one would think I was gay.
I should what?
You're gay.
Just because Are you filming?
Have you ever told yourself a lie so many times you start to believe it? I'm not into guys like that. They're just thoughts. I'm not gay. I can't be gay. I don't want to be gay.
All right. So, my name is Alden Peters. I'm originally from Seattle, Washington. This is stupid. What can I talk about? It rains a lot in Seattle. We have a bridge in Seattle. They had to put up a fence because too many people were jumping off of it and killing themselves. It's like one of the highest suicide rates in the nation because it rains and it's depressing. And it's true.
Hey son, it's Dad. We're just wondering how you're doing. If you made it through the storm there in New York, give us a call. Love you. Bye.
I got really good at hiding who I was. But I was always anxious. I was always angry. I just wanted to escape myself. But then when I started to act on it, these secret thoughts became a double life, reminding me that I'm alone, that I'm different, and that I'll never be happy.
This morning, officials believe they found the body of an 18-year-old freshman who jumped off the George Washington Bridge after his roommate videotaped him being intimate with another man and put it on the internet.
By all accounts, Tyler Clemente was a gifted violinist, a good-natured soul who didn't have many close college friends and mostly kept to himself.
Darun Ravi.
Darun Ravi, the student accused of spying on his roommate, Tyler Clemente, with a webcam.
The tragedy can now apparently be traced back to online postings. And Wednesday, a body was pulled from the Hudson River.
It was really shocking to think that if my roommates or somebody had done that to me, or if everybody knew all of a sudden, if just it seemed such a logical solution.
That's how you would deal with if something like that happened?
It really felt like that at the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to tell everyone before it's too late and there's nothing left to say. These thoughts terrify me. I will never live a normal life because these thoughts are going to kill me.
Hey Alden, it's Dad. Just calling to see how you're doing. Your mom's texting me saying she hasn't heard from you. So send her a text, tell her you're okay. Give me a call. I'm still at work. Okay, love you, bye.
What's gonna happen? Am I gonna lose somebody because of this? I'd always imagined myself with a wife and kids or something. But I guess if I'm being honest with myself, I need to tell everyone. I wish I didn't have to do this.
Finally here with my coming out story.
It sounds weird when I say it to myself. I'm gay.
I basically convinced myself, throughout my years, that I've liked men. But I was always nervous to kiss guys. It wasn't the right kind of nervous. It wasn't.
The second I made that connection, I felt sick to my stomach. I had never wanted to hurt myself so badly as those days.
It's not just your sexual orientation that's closeted. Everything is closeted.
Overall, I just got prepared for rejection. I couldn't really risk being told that I wasn't okay.
All I know is that I need to come out and tell my family and friends. It's important to tell them in person, I think. They're all spread between New York City, Phoenix, and Seattle. I think I'll feel less vulnerable if I film everything. I know that's going to give me that extra push to actually say it, instead of putting it off for another week or month or year.
How do you come out? Like, how do you come out? I still don't know how to answer this question correctly.
I really don't think that there's like one set thing that I could tell you, because everyone's situation is different.
When you truly in your head are like, it's now, I need to tell them now, then you do it. Help me, help.
It's weird when there's a camera in front of you. It makes you feel weird about myself.
After this, what do you want to go see?
Italy.
30 Rock. Okay. Are you recording?
Yeah.
And then I sync up,
That with the clap.
and then so all the audio is going to come from here. But just ignore that. Okay. So this documentary that I'm shooting is not really about comparing you guys to Cubans.
I knew it.
Just
Look
because-
how awesome we are, isn't it?
Showing us how bad we are.
This is a documentary. I'm filming my whole coming out process, so I'm telling you guys that I'm gay.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No,
Is it a
you're
joke?
not.
It's not a joke.
You're smiling though.
I'm smiling because it's kind of awkward.
Wait, really?
But, yeah. Full-blown, pun intended, gay.
No
That's
way.
a joke.
Full blown.
I feel like you would confide in us in a more private setting.
Did you already tell your family?
No. Only my older brother.
Are you scared to tell your family? Thanks for including us.
I was most scared to tell you guys.
Really?
Really? Why?
We're your best
You really think
friends.
we're homophobic?
A
You think I'm
little
homophobic?
bit.
What? I'm not homophobic.
Probably the least homophobic guy I know.
I'd also thought you guys had always suspected it for a while.
It's
yeah, it's been brought up.
You always say it.
But I wasn't like, oh yeah, he's gay. But I was just like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
But I feel. No, I didn't think you're gay.
I know you're gonna tell somebody, but this
Don't.
cannot, like, really try not to. I can't have anything show up on Facebook that my parents or younger brother and sister will see before I tell them.
How long have you known for?
My entire life.
Really? From the start? From like.
All
From
day?
birth?
From
conception. Okay. It's just like sliding out of the
Oh my goodness.
For years, I would be like, so is it gay if I have sex
Dear
with a guy on the
Google.
side? But
Really?
it's gay. No. So being like in the closet, I haven't like got on a date or anything like that. So I've just been doing like one night stands, hookups discreetly
Yeah.
via Craigslist.
No, you haven't.
Was it awkward the first time? Wait, Craigslist?
Yeah. In Seattle, for example, it was all like,
Wait, it happened in Seattle too?
That's why he's so mysterious.
That's why you're so mysterious.
That is why you're so mysterious. That's why we don't see you in like 3 weeks, maybe.
Always told us not to worry about it.
Clear of the closing doors, please.
Who do you find attractive?
I don't know, just attractive guys.
I've never openly talked to this gay person before.
Yeah, really. I've always wanted a gay friend though, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I've heard like rumors, people thinking you were gay, and I was like, I just think you came off as a very straight person to me.
So which is weird because I mean, every gay person I've ever met, super flamboyant, or at least like they have like that weird like almost like high pitched voice. Or
You think you're ever gonna develop that?
I don't know.
In high school, we had those nights where all us guys would just hang around each other. I'm sure we made like jabs at like gay people just because we were young and, you know, just wondering if you ever felt uncomfortable around like any of us.
I think yes and no simultaneously. Yes, in terms of, I think that could have been part of the reason why I never told you guys sooner. But also no too, because at the same time, I haven't and still don't entirely identify with like the gay community.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of crazy, like to think that you could be. I mean, like we obviously will all like change a little bit, but like to see your progression, especially, like if you become that like super flamboyantly, you know, gay person, I feel like that'd be kind of weird to see. It just doesn't seem like who you like. It's just gayness. Like it's just you being gay. Like I don't know. I don't think there's.
Yeah,
any
you're still the
reason to
same.
think
You're still the
less.
same douchebag filmmaker.
I'm gay, Krista.
I knew.
Really?
I can't lie.
How?
Somebody told me, and I'm not gonna tell you who. It wasn't their fault because they thought that you had already told me.
It was Marnie, wasn't it? It was, huh?
She's gonna kill me. I wanted you to tell me, like, by your choice, not me saying like, oh hey, guess what Marnie just told me. There's absolutely no way that I could ever feel what you felt, but even just imagining it, I felt pain. Like it was painful just imagining the shit that having that as a part of your identity and not being able to express it or not knowing how or for whatever reason for all that fucking time.
But yeah, I have to tell my younger brother and sister and my parents still.
You haven't told either of your parents?
No.
If I have granddaughters one day. That's good. Oh.
Not really.
Colin.
Cool.
It's gonna be 10 minutes of an enthralling scene.
Yeah. Before you go, there's something I want to tell you guys while I'm filming you.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
While you're filming us.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, we've been set up.
You've been set up. But
For.
I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm gay.
Oh,
Like I'm coming out of the closet to you guys.
that doesn't matter to me at all.
I can accept that. That's cool.
And you're taping us for this? You're so. You know what? Hold on, I don't even know where to put. It doesn't even matter. I'm so happy you told me.
Yeah.
Because I want you to be you.
Yeah.
And never be ashamed of who you are.
I love you, Alden.
You know? It's totally alright, Alden.
You're a cool guy.
I'm glad you told me
I know you're a
though.
cool
Like
guy.
I would be sad if you didn't.
Aw.
You know? Seriously. I want to give you another hug. Does Julian know?
Yep.
How long does Julian know?
I told him when we were in Arizona.
Alright.
You did? And you didn't tell me? First your brother's safer.
Yeah.
How's Julian? Was he alright?
It's fine.
Yeah.
We love you no matter what. You're
Yeah,
all
my
me.
I knew right away what you were going to tell us when you said you wanted to tell us something on camera.
Yeah.
Parents talk about these things, you know.
The first time I thought, was on your Facebook. There was a picture and you were massaging someone's shoulders. And I thought, nah, but...
Oh, no, that was just a friend. That was...
Okay, but
We talked about it before, we never
but
really
it crossed
cared.
my mind when I saw
Yeah.
that. I went, but at that moment, I also decided it really didn't matter either. Like, I love you. You're my son. I love you no matter what.
Yeah.
And I would hate for you to keep such a secret.
Yeah.
So what about your father?
I told him yet, no.
That might be a
Wait.
little hard.
This Christmas, that's part of...
Really?
I think it might be harder for a father. He fucking loves you. I have a question.
What?
Between you and I, not the cameras.
Don't, I'm not going to talk about that to you. That's not, I'm not going to have that conversation.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Delta's pleasure to welcome you to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Please keep in mind that there has been a 3-hour time change, and welcome to Seattle.
Oh, is it?
I would say, by default, I would say I'm gay. But that label itself, I never identified with.
Yeah.
And still don't really. It's just kind of there.
I don't think everyone necessarily kind of investigates what the term gay means and what is it going to mean for you. What happens when, especially a society like our society, does connotate that term to mean certain kinds of things, certain kinds of, I think, sexual behavior, how much you party or what clubs you frequent or what happens if you don't like musicals. I mean, there's this weird kind of stipulation that this is what gay is. And I think we live in a time where people are more willing to push that, but I also think we live in a time where that's become more concrete for the community itself.
So what do you think, for me, the next step for me to do after coming out of the closet, but trying to, I guess, more explore my identity and who I am?
The first is realize that you need to stop asking people what it is you should do. It's more difficult than that. It's you having to struggle through figuring it out for yourself. What is it I should be doing?
What do you think is going to happen when I tell Dad?
You know, I've wondered a lot about that. Just because I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I don't think it would be a negative thing. I think, you know, we talked about before how people's initial reactions are always going to be usually always different than how things are going to play out as far as how they look at you or how they feel. So, you know, he's someone that I could see kind of more of a really shocked initial reaction. But I think that doesn't at all mean that it changes anything. But I just, you know, I don't think he would ever see it coming. Merry Christmas!
Is this the breakable thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what everybody liked. Maybe something a little more practical, Mr. Bond.
You could take this to the pawn shop.
I'm not, you know, you don't want to pawn that. It's a collector's item.
This is a.
Oh, my.
You felt that? How heavy that is? You can't.
He got doled on a lot of rib cages.
Yeah, it's been through a lot of people.
That's nice. I called Julian for relationship advice a couple weeks ago because he had been through similar situations that I was going through, such as like getting mad or having the girl get mad at you for stupid things and then just like blow up in your face and stuff like that.
Did you ever ask me about relationships, like if I was in a relationship?
I have not asked you, but I'll ask you right now. Have you ever been in one?
Yes.
Yeah?
But have you, like, so you...
Was a 42-year-old man involved?
Possible.
Oh, weird. Anyways.
What are you doing, Dad?
I'm removing the spark plugs from the engine, replacing them with new ones.
Sounds complicated.
Not really. I was able to do this when I was about 6 or 7 years old.
Do you think I could fix a car?
I don't think so. Pick a subject.
Are you excited to have grandkids?
No.
Why not?
Why are you asking?
I'm just asking.
Oh, is there any, what's going on? Something I need to know? Oh, Julian, what did you do?
Actually, I am. That'll be
actually pretty cool. I think I'll be a good grandpa because I can tell them the stories that I can't tell you guys.
You know, as a youth, you think you're invincible and you're smarter than everybody else. I know it sounds like our 17-year-old inside there, but it's true. You really do. I played tough guy. It's cancer. I'm Rick Peters, bitch. That's why it's a mental challenge. I can see why people die and give up mentally, because it makes you so sick, and it's just so, every day is so long. Every day is 30 hours, 40 hours, just drags on. Everybody worries about you. Oh my God, you all right? But then you gotta be tough for them. You gotta show them that this thing isn't gonna beat you.
I just thought, while we have the cameras rolling, I would tell you something.
Okay.
Real quickly. Just why I've been filming everything and everyone. And I know that we're not we never really talk about this as father and son.
Mm-hmm.
Things of that nature.
Okay.
At all, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm gay.
Okay. It's all right. It's okay.
But I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Honestly, it's okay. It's totally cool.
Sorry to have a camera on you.
It's all right.
What are your thoughts? What's going through your head?
You know, a dad's life is always filled with, excitement, surprise, and honestly, I kind of thought you were anyway.
Really?
Yeah. This isn't a big surprise.
Why'd you think so?
Just I don't know. Just had an inkling. There weren't really many girlfriends, and but it wasn't how you acted or anything like that. It just was your. I don't know. Maybe I just knew, but didn't know. You know what I mean? So. How have you told anybody else? Am I the first one? Your mom?
No. Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm. And Greg, while they were in New York.
But
now it's just those two that I have to tell.
I think they'll be fine. I don't think filming them is probably a good idea, though.
You don't think so? Tell me about this dollhouse.
You were like the Barbie doll child. Didn't you have Barbie dolls, some Barbie dolls that you used to always carry around? When you were a little child, you just, the way that you looked and the way that you acted and just the way that you were, just made you think that you always had Barbie dolls with you. Oh, funny.
Do you think that... Is it weird if boys play with Barbie dolls? Is that weird, do you think?
Not when they're younger. But, well, I don't know, it just depends. If you were to play with Barbie dolls, it'd be okay. Just because you are you.
How do you guys in Cleveland feel about gay people?
It depends on who they are.
It depends on
If
who
they're
they
a creepy gay person who's hello, then I'll be creeped out. But if they're then I'll be okay. If they just I don't know. I know lots of gay people.
Yeah?
Actually, I only know 2.
No,
Possibly
2?
3. But
Possibly
I don't know
3?
for sure.
So, if I told you that I was gay,
I'd go buy you a box of Barbie dolls.
You would?
No. I don't know. You trying to get to something here?
I'm trying to tell you that I'm gay, Jacqueline.
Okay. Have you told Dad?
Yeah.
Did he hate you?
No. Did you think he would?
No. Well, maybe.
No. I
Does
told him.
Callahan know?
No.
He'll be crushed.
Really?
And then he'll be happy.
And then how do you feel?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Hi.
Hi?
Yeah. Let's start anew.
Start anew?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Nothing.
Hey, Jacqueline. Are you changing? Well, you have 15 minutes to decide.
This is a cool watch. Are we leaving in 15?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Are there any gay kids at your school?
Yeah, one.
One?
One, and then many who we presume are gay.
Do you have any problems with gay people?
No. As long as they don't, like, get up in my shit. I don't like being hit on by gay people. It kind of weirds me out a little bit. Like, no, actually, I'll tell you a great story. When I went to Winter Ball with a bunch of people, there's this guy, and he's apparently straight. I had to drive him, never met him before. And we're driving around, he's like, Callie, you know, you're a really handsome dude. Like, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, your eyes, they just sparkle and they just pop out of your head with that pink tie. Like, God, man, you're gorgeous.
Your eyes are brown.
I know.
I feel like brown eyes could never pop.
No.
That doesn't make
I was
sense.
just like, what the fuck, dude? You were so weird. So weird. Yeah.
So, if I was to tell you why I haven't had a girlfriend growing up.
If you were to tell me you were gay,
Mm-hmm.
I would not hate you.
You would not hate me?
No.
What would your reaction be?
I'd be like, okay.
Okay, Callahan, I'm gay.
Okay. Too bad it's not real. Real? No way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think this is a setup. Give me an example.
Give me an example. Well, I like guys.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Does Dad know?
Mhm.
He does. When did you tell him?
Yesterday.
What did he say?
He said he suspected.
Suspected? That's horrible.
And I told Jacqueline just now while you were in the shower.
Did he really? Jacqueline. What? Did he really? Did he really tell you? Okay. Yeah. See, that's what I'm feeling like this is a joke. It is. Is your mom know?
Mm-hmm.
Is Greg know?
You're not gay. Oh, this is on video.
Yeah. Yes,
Oops.
I am.
I interrupted that.
Okay. Why do you not believe it? You can come in here.
You don't act gay.
I don't act gay? Is that the signifier? How should I act then?
I'm not saying you should act any specific way, just my previous knowledge of gay people does not.
I don't think you're serious.
Wait. So this is your coming out of the closet?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Go back into the closet, please.
Why would you
Jacqueline,
say
that's
that?
awful.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
God, you gotta be supportive.
I was kidding.
That's cool. Well, I support you in all ways. If this is no bullshit, that is. Are you filming this?
No.
Good.
Track stand.
And then he says, I've got to tell you something. And I honestly thought he was going to tell me that he was sick and there was something wrong with him. I was terrified. He had a serious look on his face. He had had these medical problems. He wasn't talking about them. He was doing all this extraordinary, over-the-top filming of every little thing we were doing. And then just that brief moment of time where I had absolutely panicked. And I don't panic. I've been a firefighter medic for many years. Nothing makes me panic. I've seen it all. But at that moment, I thought he was going to tell me something horrible. And he told me he was gay, which was a little shocking, but definitely not what I thought was coming.
Hello, my name is Eric, and oh my gosh, my heart is pounding. I am about to come out to my dad. I kind of hope he doesn't answer.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Where am I or how am I?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good morning, Dad. How are you doing? I'm doing good. So I just woke up and I'm about to go to Mom's house. And I don't know why, but I feel like I need to call you and let you know something about me.
Talk to me.
Okay, so yeah, my relationship status.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not exactly with a girl.
Okay. You know, it's funny that I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not, who's it with?
A guy?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm gay.
Okay.
And it's just really hard to hold it in, so I felt like I really needed to call you and let you know. And I hope like you still love me and everything.
And I love you forever. And it doesn't matter. You know, if that's what, you know, makes you happy. And that's who you are. And it doesn't change anything with me. You're still my son. You're still Eric Jr. And I'm still going to love you exactly the same. There's no change.
It's pretty big. It's different.
You know, Daniel, it's the way it's what makes the world go round, honey. We're all different, but the most important thing is that we live an honest life, and that we're happy, and you know, we try and be as good as we can be in life. But most important is that you're honest with yourself.
What's going on in your head now versus 5 days ago? A lot's gone down between then, now and then.
It's weird. I'm in like in a daze almost.
Really?
It's just I don't know. It's so rough just to like. There it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just.
This whole buildup inside you.
Yeah.
This buildup is a giant block of ice that kept growing and growing and growing. Essentially, by coming out, the block of ice is starting to melt.
Yeah.
Which means there's still a lot of it there, even though the process has begun of releasing all this pressure that's built up all this time.
Yeah.
But if you start to melt this giant block of ice, you're getting a little bit of water dribbling.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you had hoped that all of a sudden your block of ice was a puddle, but you know what? It's not. You turn the heat lamps on, your block of ice is slowly going to melt. And eventually, it'll be a puddle.
That's a beautiful analogy. thank you all for being really good friends and let you all know I'm officially out of the closet.
What does that mean?
What? That means I told my family.
What? Is it Facebook? You did?
It's not Facebook official
Well,
yet.
so it's not real yet.
It's not Facebook official. That's not official.
Wait. But here's the thing. We should do this right now.
To Alden.
Cheers again.
Oh shit, I'm out of beer.
That's not gonna work. Favorite queen.
Whoa. Is that offensive?
You know how everyone says once you're Facebook official, it's official?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to like tell your close friends because you know they love you, and it's one thing to tell your family, but you're making a statement.
Okay, logged into Facebook. I don't know, should I change it now? Do it now? Interested in women. Oh man. I don't know why I'm getting nervous. I didn't think I was going to be so nervous. Your changes have been saved. Alden changed his interested in. Ooh. I'm out of the closet. Should I say that? Just I'm out of the closet? What's on your mind? I'm out of the closet. And nervous? Maybe I'm instead of I am. Be a little more casual about it. Should I not say of the closet?
Yeah, I think
Should I be thinking this much into it? I mean, it should be short, right? It shouldn't be like a long thing. Like I'm not trying to, well, after blah blah blah, just I'm officially out. Boom, that's Facebook. That's all you get. Okay. Did it. I'm officially out. That's it. That was a statement.
A little vague.
Yeah, it was vague. We're just
You know,
talking
you
about
could
this.
clear that up
very
a little
vague.
bit. You're out. I mean, you
Out
could be
of-
out of Cuba, out of New York, out of Seattle. Well, then I looked at his info. It says interested in men.
Whoop, whoop.
So.
It actually feels kind of good to be so public about it. There's literally nothing left to hide about being gay anymore. I don't know, I kind of just feel like there's another step after telling everybody, though. Like, what do I do now? I feel like I need to reestablish myself.
After coming out and telling people that you're gay, what would you say is the next step in like a model for coming out of the closet, and how does that relate or differ to what actually happens?
Right. We all have different life circumstances, and our certainty about ourselves and our confidence in ourselves vary immensely. And it doesn't make any real sense that there are some universal stages that all of us go through. There are young people today who are 8, 9, and 10 who are calling themselves gay and are pretty certain that they're gay. And then you encounter a 20-year-old who may have no inclination about what he's all about. So where's the sort of the model there? And of course, there are stage models for parents too. That is, well, once I find out, then there's this immediate anger, and then a depression, and then an acceptance. And of course, none of that is true either.
If there's no model to follow, what do you think is a good next step after disclosing that you're gay to family members?
I would love to see conversations and encourage conversations within families of the parent actually asking the child, so tell me a little bit about some of your early experiences. And I think that's the part of a conversation that needs to occur.
It's a big change for me, but I never asked them if it's a big change for them. There's definitely other stuff that could be going on, or questions that they have, or concerns that I didn't think about.
It turns out there's a part of him that none of us knew. You never want to know if your child is hurting. No, you want to know, but you don't want to find. You know, if you find out later that there was these years your child was hurting, that's tough. The only word he said it was difficult. So it'll be interesting to hear what he was going through.
Let's go through some pictures and look at evidence. Signs that I was gay from the start.
I think that's really hard to do.
Why?
because how can you, I mean, you can't differentiate that when you're a young child. You're not even sexually aware.
Mm-hmm.
You're always dressing up and being theatrical.
You don't think that's any indication whatsoever?
No.
Julian didn't do anything like that.
You guys are different kind of people. You hung pictures of girls, of Pamela Anderson, everybody in your walls, and Julian never hang one girl in his bedroom wall. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touche.
So you're just a happy-go-lucky kid. When did you first think that maybe, or realize that you were? I mean, how does that happen? Do you just, I'm sure is it gradual, or do you just absolutely know?
It's a gradual thing.
I would have guessed that, perhaps.
Being young and slowly kind of realizing that this isn't like what everybody else is going through.
That must be hard.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you could come talk to me? Because you could have. Or is that...
No, we didn't talk about anything, Mom. Ever.
What do you mean we didn't talk about anything
like
ever?
Like personal stuff? Hardly ever. When was the last time?
Well, it wasn't by my choice.
There's never something that I wanted to talk to you about. Well, that I would talk to anybody about. I didn't talk to anybody about it.
You feel all alone, I'm sure.
I don't know. It was just rough. A lot of trying to see if because of this, does that mean I'm gay? Because of this, does that mean I'm what not?
Questioning it? Always questioning it? Or just...
I would say I was looking for the alternative. I was searching for an answer that said, no, you're not.
I understand.
In the back of my head, I've always known that I was. And I can say that now with hindsight.
Are you still struggling accepting yourself?
I mean, for my entire life, I would shun everything gay, every evidence, every strand, all of this stuff. This stuff, I was ashamed of myself as a kid. And so that is taking a while to undo.
Good. You're not going to be angry with me forever. I love this.
Up close and personal with Alden Peters.
What gave you the idea to join the Spice Girls? Well, I just love the band, and once I heard that...
We've always seen this idea of being gay as like the sissy or the faggot, as like the really broken-wristed man that is always the butt of every joke. Through that, we've seen a fear of being labeled a faggot or labeled as too gay. I'm not the most masculine man, and a lot of that is something that I've dealt with for years, and it was probably the hardest thing about being gay. I always tell people that growing up, I never worried about liking boys. I always worried about coming off too gay and what would happen. And the what would happen was really the most important. I have almost lost jobs for being too gay. I have people straight up told me, like, you're too much of a sissy, I can't date you, I only date real men.
You know, I always heard when I was growing up that gay people, you know, if you're a female, then you looked like a guy, and if you're a male, then you looked like a girl. That's like the general concept that I got of what it meant to be gay. And so I told myself from a very young age, you're not gay. You're not gay. Because I didn't want to look like a guy.
A lot of the anti-gay bullying that we think is due to sexual orientation is actually not due to sexual orientation. It's actually due to gender expression. So it's not like an 8th grader goes around and harasses another girl and says, oh, you like to have sex with girls. That's not the issue. The issue is more that that girl may be behaving in a gender inappropriate way, according to standard cultural stereotypes. If you find straight youth who are acting in a gender inappropriate way, they face just as much bullying as does a gay kid who is acting in a gender inappropriate way.
I know the guys would kind of like joke about it sometimes because he was like a little bit femme, maybe in like the way he talked sometimes. But throughout the years, like, I don't know, he'd always talk about like, oh, this girl's hot and this girl's hot. So we just kind of like forgot about it. Because he was always kind of like creepy towards
crude,
us.
yeah.
It was very crude sexually towards women. It was always like as a joke, but...
In the same way that I was supposed to be acting like a straight man, there are these ways that I'm supposed to be acting like a gay man. I mean, I don't think I fit into these stereotypes, but maybe I do. I guess I've just hidden from myself for so long that I've never had to actively go figure out who I was or act in a way that was true to myself before. I need to do that to finish this coming out process. I mean, I guess the first thing to do would be to go to a pride parade because that's what being gay means, right? Is this the community of people I'm about to join? This is why I didn't think I was gay to begin with. These are the kind of people I would see and realize that I'm not like them at all. And if they're gay, then what am I? And just because I'm attracted to men doesn't mean that I'm part of this community, does it?
In, out, who cares? You're great no matter what or where. Out of milk? Loveless, way to be brave. Now, what? Breathe a little easier. Oh, if that's not the truth.
Seriously.
I didn't understand him too well. Like, there was something about him I just didn't understand, and I couldn't figure out what it was. But now it's very good. We laugh a lot and laugh better, and it's much more comfortable than it was when we first started.
Whoa, I invited Song out. She didn't want to come.
What is she doing?
Because she's with Andrew, Sean, and Lindsay.
So?
They don't want to go.
Then that should be even...
No, they don't want to go to gay bars.
You serious?
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know, I just don't want to.
They don't want to go to bars, or they don't want to go to gay bars?
I don't know, it's just not their thing.
What we're going to do is we're going to go to Elite, then head over to our place, maybe dance a little. They have great music. Then we're going to go to Cha-Cha's.
6 places?
That's nothing. And then if we meet up in people, take up a whole bunch of space and mingle.
Alright, Nora, you're the leader.
I am the leader.
You're the leader. Je peux pas danser.
Ça va. On va pas vraiment danser, on va pas danser comme ça. And what kind of music have you danced to? Oh, put the hands down. You can do it. It's especially at our place, it's gonna be a lot of like, hey, cute guys, let's go.
Oh, jeez.
How do you like yourself?
I like myself okay.
Alright, as long as you like yourself, that's all that matters. Alright, let's go to the next group.
Nora made me wear a tie and nobody was wearing a tie. Can we talk about that? I felt a lot of genitalia rubbed against me, so that was kind of weird. And I still felt myself trying to, like, don't make eye contact or whatever for, well, so I'm not, like, giving anybody the eyes, but, like, acknowledge. If those are the eyes, then, oh, God, I'm hopeless. But, I don't know, I wasn't really, that's not my thing. I knew that it wasn't, so I'd rather just go to a bar and sit and drink than go to a club and dance. It's just a little too, I don't know, rambunctious for me. But to a gay bar, yeah, absolutely, just because it felt comfortable.
Sixth grade came and hormones kicked in when I went to this play. Then I saw this girl on stage. And I got this electricity that ran through my body. Now, it wasn't long before I made the connection that what I was feeling was the same feeling that my friends described to me when they saw a cute guy. The second I made that connection, I felt sick to my stomach.
What's it like to have your coming out like so public online?
There was some really heartfelt comments, you know. I'm in tears, this was beautiful. I got personal messages on Facebook and through YouTube. Like, I came out to my parents after I saw this speech. I showed my sister this speech and she was really depressed and it made her feel better. Like, just wow, you know, things that I never even thought it could do or had the power to do, and it did, or apparently did, and that's just really exciting. And I've also gotten messages from older people in the community saying how happy they are to see that this is even possible.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard because there's like this split in the movement right now where it's like, it's not a big deal anymore, let's, you know, being gay is whatever, like stop making it a big deal. But then on the other hand, you know, kids are still getting beat up, kids are still taking their own lives, you know, they're still getting disowned. So it is still a big deal.
So, as I was coming out and figuring out myself, I was also lying to my family, which is not something I've ever done. And because of that, I ended up being disowned by my mother for at least 2 years straight. Now, my mother loves me, and I've been out probably about a good 6 years now. But it took her a long time to truly understand why I am the way I am.
She told me that she loves me, that she isn't agree with who I am. She asked me not to ask her to accept the gay world.
A lot of my writing, I talk about being gay online, especially being gay online before you're gay offline. And what I mean when I talk about that is that we use the internet as a place to be gay or explore our gayness or sexuality in a place that doesn't have physical ramifications. So it's kind of like a stage to practice your sexuality. And people find a relationship, community in that sharing of the story and telling our lives.
Hi, my name is Janet. I was welcomed into this world as Charles, the firstborn son of my parents in Honolulu, Hawaii. I was probably about 4 years old when I knew that I was a girl. No one else knew this but me, but it became my very first conviction.
And how has this public coming out been for you? And what did it involve, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not with you, it's not just the people around you, but it's also a
World.
digital world thing. Stage
Yeah, and just going back to what you said just about your project and your story, period. The digital part of it was such a big part of my coming out. I obviously came out in mainstream media, which was Marie Claire magazine, and this huge spread with pictures and all of this stuff and this story. Because I thought that everyone would know at the same time when I came out, but it's kind of like people 6 months later, oh my God, I had no idea that this happened. I saw your YouTube video.
Did putting it online and making these videos, did that help say it less in person, or did people, because I found that people still wouldn't come up to me and say that oh, you just came out, congratulations or something, until I brought it up. That there was still this kind of tiptoeing that people did until I was like, oh, I just came out. Oh yeah, I saw that online, I saw that. Oh, did you have that same experience?
On a trans person, it's kind of it really affects the other person a lot more because they thought that they knew what a woman was or what a man was or who I was, right? Whereas I think when you're gay or something, it doesn't feel it feels like it's more of a personal thing because it's not something that people necessarily completely see unless you're a very effeminate gay man, but then that also brings it back to gender again,
exactly.
How does that feel for you? Like how you just said so many gay men. Do you feel that negates your experience, or how does that make you feel? I'm just wondering, I was wondering this.
I don't think it makes me feel like it negates anything. Mm-hmm. There is definitely some well, what's the point? But it's not my story that is so important to be told because it's been told so many ways.
But I think your perspective is interesting. Not only do you care about where you come from, but you care about the community aspect, and I think that's something that is still rare. And I think that the fact that you're also checking your community is important, right? Like you talk about how even the image of what a gay man is supposed to be, right? Super buff, super smooth, super sexy, right? And it's like, no, not, not that you are not adorable and handsome.
It's the winter time, so I can wear sweaters.
But you know what I mean? The fact that you're also checking that limited portrayal of already a marginalized community, you're expanding that just by being vulnerable and open enough to say that there is something different out there and that all of our stories do matter.
I keep thinking about Tyler Clementi. His story was the catalyst for my own. If only he knew how many people his life affected. Mine wasn't the only one.
We awakened a few days ago to hear of the terrible tragedy that befell Tyler Clementi. In only 3.5 weeks, 4 other teenagers have been befallen by the same fate as he. But I am no stranger to bullying. I know the feeling of being degraded. I know the feeling of loneliness when you are being humiliated and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. I know how it is, as do so many of you, when you are singled out for persecution for being nothing more than who you were born as.
Thank you, and please observe the silence as this light spreads hope for all to see.
It might be your story that gives someone courage to keep going or to come out in the way they feel comfortable in coming out. And you just never know who your story is going to really relate to.
This is a card from my little sister that she sent me. Every challenge is an opportunity, a chance to grow, a lesson to learn, a part of life. Oh man, $20. Alden, you're amazing and your hard work and personality shows it. You're a wonderful brother and amazing role model. You encourage me and everyone around you to be the best that they can be. You give good advice and are full of information. Keep up your good work. Hope to hear from you soon. Jacqueline. And so maybe in the moment she didn't know what to say necessarily. But it's pretty clear here what she felt. My mom sent me a thing to a lesbian and gay film festival pamphlet, so they're all looking out for me, I guess.
What are you doing? Is there a method to the madness?
Yeah.
Oh, this is where your face is going?
Yeah, I need to stand there. Okay.
Okay, now
That's
what?
good. You can move it in.
Okay. Now what?
Now we can talk.
Maybe this is what we take away or what we can teach to, you know, the next young man or woman, you know, that's going through that. Is it, should they come out sooner so their family can get behind them and they can realize, hey, they're not an outcast and they're not, you know, looked down upon, and that they're, nothing's different. What you've done. I'm proud of you for everything you've done, but also this. I think it's pretty amazing. I think it's pretty amazing. It's part of my legacy, you know. I take credit for some of it, not all of it, just some of it. So.
Do you think you made me gay? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I have felt closer to you since that drive where you told me driving to Safeway. Because, I was one of the first people you talked to. And with it being, such a hard thing for you to do, an uncomfortable thing to you, it's something that's so important to you, felt was so important to get out. And for you to come, to your brother first, I thought that was cool. Maybe cool isn't a very, sensitive word to use, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Love you too. You see that one? Maybe just for the
kid. It's true, though. I do love you.
Yeah.
I don't say it enough.
In the past year, our global community, in fact the entire world, has witnessed some spectacular victories and some great losses. Pride starts here. Pride starts now.
What are we gonna see, Bryce?
I mean, it's New York and it's Pride. Who knows what will happen?
Who knows?
I mean, I sort of live every day like it's Pride. And even if it's not you directly being hated or oppressed, you are in spirit, because if you were in their place geographically, you would be experiencing the same thing. I don't think we are together enough in this issue. Today is cool because people go out of their way to come together and make it bigger than just me, or bigger than just you.
I'm Alden.
Hi, Alden.
Hello.
I'm Mika.
Mika.
I'm Yolanda.
Hey, what brings you here today?
I'm good and I'm happy.
To celebrate, to support.
To be at Pride, you know?
Out of everybody's parade, this is the only parade where nobody passes any judgment.
If you ain't happy every day, even if you're gay or not, something is motherfucking wrong. Oh, I can't curse.
I remember on Facebook when like Ben first came out, it was like 200 plus likes on Facebook, and I was just like,
we all got teary-eyed. By the way, Ben, if it wasn't for him, I would not have told my closest friends about it. I would not have come out to my closest friends, and at this point, I would not be at Pride. It was not. I swear.
I feel so much more positive about everything than just only a year ago, exactly, that I was in Seattle. It felt really good. Hi, I'm Alden. I guess I don't need to say hi. What else can I say? I remember back then thinking that this was like the biggest deal. But now it's like, yeah, it came out, whatever. And I think that that's why, I don't know, there's kind of like this tendency for people that are already out and already whatever to say like, oh, it gets better and like, don't worry about it, it'll get better, blah, blah, blah. But they forget that in that moment, there is nothing more terrifying, there is nothing more prevalent and nothing more imminent than coming out of the closet. And what does that mean? I'm Alden, and this is my coming out story.
Two days ago, at a coming out group, I said, I'm gay. And it felt really weird, but it kind of feels good.
It just felt really good to come out. Yeah, it felt really good.
My coming out story. I've been a bit apprehensive to do it just simply because you don't know how people are going to react, you know what I mean? Like, people still in today's society don't accept us.
Not everyone's story is going to be easy. Some people have it easy, some people have it hard. But you just have to be strong.
But I think the way I came out was quite organic. It wasn't a very abrupt process. I know that when I went to my second school, I met some gay people who had kind of just, you know, they were doing a presentation in class, and mid-presentation they just turned around to the class and was like, I'm gay. And they just carried on. And it's all kind of like, whoa.
It was a lot of moments of denial and finally that moment of acceptance.
I'm just finding myself still. But one thing I know is I'm gay. So.
That's my story. Sorry it's not rife with strife or tribulation.
I'm just, working towards a point where I can finally say, I am asexual and, this is who I am.
If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please comment or message me. I will be there for you.
We are here. LGBT community is here for you. and we are brothers and sisters.
Thanks for listening.
Love you guys. Bye.